Okay then. Can you hear me? Yes, we'll be we'll be chatting through Discord at least until you log in on Twitch. So let's use the yes let's use the chat in Discord. Um, so first of all, let's look over the game that we're trying to remake. One second. Open it in YouTube so we can see it better. Okay, and so the idea is there is the wait. I'm getting at again. One second. So the idea is you start in Stone Age. Um, you have one resource, gold, and you buy units that go towards the enemy base, and the enemy does the same. And when you kill units, you get gold and experience. And at some point, when you have enough experience, you go to the next technology level. So from Stone Age to medieval, then to the current technology, and then to the future. And you also have a special ability which basically damages the enemy units, and you can buy turrets to defend the base. But so I downloaded a few resources, and I downloaded something called parallax, which means there are multiple backgrounds, and you see when you move, some move faster, some move slower to create the illusion of depth, 3D depth. See, so right now these here the three houses are the bases for the player and the enemy, because I tried to find a stone house, but I did not find anything like that on the internet. Okay, and I must say that I did not code this background. I don't know how this works, but let's go over the script because I modified a few things. Okay. I'm not sure how this works, but I'm assuming um, the different backgrounds move at different speeds when the camera moves. And this part here that I'm highlighting is the camera movement. So this here, if camera moves, means if we can move the camera, this is a bull. And if we can move the camera, then I decided to have some limits. So a maximum negative position and a maximum positive position. Um, and here this means if it's within the limits, then we get the horizontal axis, which this is a value from -1 to it is either a -1, 0 or 1. So when you press A, this is -1. When you press D, is 1, and when you press nothing, it's 0. So here if it's not 0, so if you are we are moving the camera, then we change the position of the camera, sorry, we add to the position of the camera the horizontal axis, which is the direction, then vector to the right. Time delta time means the time difference between frames, and then we have a speed. And if the camera is outside the limits, then we place it within the limits. And here we have two cases, when it is to the right and when it is to the left. And that's the only thing I coded so far. Now we need to create some UI. So let's first let me open again that video with the game. And I'll close this because I get ads in Chrome. Brave has ad blocker. Okay, I just needed to see how the UI looks. Okay. We'll try to recreate the UI first. So for that we need the canvas. Let's make sure that this is here you see UA scale mode needs to be scaling with screen size, and the reference the resolution full HD. Now we create let's see how this looks. So two panels, one with the units, one with the resources. So let's create a panel, but we don't need this to stretch. Call this but no. The thing is we will have 4 panels for each level of technology. So let's think how to do this. Okay, let's call this units 1. Then we'll have copies of this. Just the color. Black, something like this. And I see that we need that square image, an image of a square, because there is a little bit of this does not cover the edges. Let's go to sprites, drag this white square. Wait, I placed it here. Folder. Okay. And instead of this source image that is the default, we place the square, but it still does not look, I don't know why, does not look perfect. And inside here we'll have a let's see how this is called. Horizontal, yes, a layout group, horizontal. So with this we make sure that between the buttons there is equal distance. for this units layout group. Now we need to resize it a little bit. Okay. Now we need to add buttons for each unit. Unfortunately, I did not find assets for all units. We might have to use placeholders. I imported the TMP text. This looks okay. And I see that in the game you cannot see the price of the units, but we'll place it. So we need to have the button, and inside the button we'll have the image of the unit. This unit image, unit 1, that, and the text, this will be the price, so price text. Now need to find here in Stone Age sprites, but sprites. Okay, this one, the caveman, like this. Now we need to center it, or not, we can just leave it like this. And but here let's say we need one button to be specific. We want the text above the image like this. Now the button should be gray, something, I don't know, something like this. Now let's look at the game and see how much this one costs. Okay, 15. I'll place this in the corner like this. It is not very visible. Let's try white. No. Also, this image is a bit too big. Yes, I'm trying to think what color we should use here, since the background is black. I don't know, something like this. Okay. And unfortunately I only have for the Stone Age I only have this guy. Okay, now that we have this, we also need the special ability, so let's create a button for that. So button, and in the game they have a sprite for it. At the moment I don't. We'll change that later. Special ability. Change this to black as well. Text white. Maybe different font. Font a little bit bigger. The same for the text here. This. Okay. Now we need to create the actual units, and here on the player base I have the tag player, and on the enemy base we have the enemy tag. Try to create our first unit. Unit 1. And we want the pivot on this to be on the bottom, like the base. You see the pivot is on the bottom, so when we spawn the units they will spawn exactly with the fit here on the bottom of the base. Okay, so we need a sprite render. Set one sprite. We only need idle, run, and the attack animation. So let's go through all of these and put a pivot here on the bottom. Okay. Okay, doesn't matter where it is. Now we need a couple of things: an animator, I created folders for everything: animations, prefab, scenes. So let's create here in the animation folder an animator controller unit 1. I'll place it in the animator component. Can select our object in the hierarchy, go to animation, create unit 1. We'll call this idle. Sprites idle. Now we select all of them and drag and drop here. Zoom in here to see it better. Okay, this is a bit fast. So here this value here samples it's basically the speed. The higher it is, the faster the animation. Still too fast. This one looks okay. Let's get the next one. Run. Okay. See. Set too fast. This one is okay. And the last one. Attack. But I have a problem with this because it does not hold the weapon. Let's see. Oh, we actually have this. Wait, we actually have a prefab. Where is it? Let's see. With the weapon. But before anything, I would like to create a sprite. One second. Here on the base, a sorting layer. So this is above everything. Call this main layer. Now let's place these two in the main layer. Okay. Yes, this comes with the animation controller, and so we'll delete our unit and unpack this, so it's no longer a prefab. Just name it to unit 1. And now let's look for that animator. See, and I don't like the names of these, and also we don't need everything. We just need the idle, the run, but wait, it also has a walk animation. Okay, so not run, walk. We'll keep the walk animation, idle, walk, and attack. So let's delete everything that is we don't need. Okay, so the idle is the default one, but now we need to rename these. Name this. Okay, so we have to rename this. Delete this and make. Sorry. Oh wait. 1 second. This is not correct. This is the idle, not walk. Oh my god. Okay, let's delete these two. Okay. Now we need two parameters. One is walk. It's walking. The other one for attacking. So if it's walking, then from idle to walk, if walking is 2, and from walk to idle if it is false, but also if it is not attacking. So if attacking is false on both these. And now from both idle and walk, if it is attacking. And here this here has exit time. We uncheck this so the transition is instant. Now from attack to the others. So from attack to idle, if walking is false and if attacking is false, and from attack to walk, if is walking is true and attacking is false. Okay, now we have and unfortunately we'll have to do this for every unit. Let's see if we need everything here. Rigid body, okay. Now here we have a little problem. Let's play the scene and see, because okay, so the first problem is we either have to create a collider and maintain the gravity of the unit, or we disable gravity, and I think we will disable the gravity here in the rigid body where it says gravity scale 0. Also we want the collision to be continuous, and we don't want physics, so is checked. Constraints, we don't want rotation, and we don't want position on the y-axis to change, so we freeze position on the y and rotation. And let's place this weapon here in the main, and then the unit on the main, but above it. So instead of 0, 1, let's place those bases, the enemy and the player base, in 1 as well. Wait, no, sorry, on 0 or -1. But I will use raycast to detect the enemy in front of the unit, and also we'll have a script that will work both for the player units and the enemy units. So let's create two scripts. Actually, one is called this unit, so this is on all units, all that they have in common. When would you use exit time? Usually in 3D, when you want the transition to look smooth between animations. So basically, between animations, the animator will try to combine the two animations into one, and it will look smoother. In 2D, I don't know when to use it. So obviously we need an int for HP. Okay. Okay, HP, and I don't. Okay, HP. So the current HP, or let's just call this HP, and the max HP. And at the beginning we want the HP to be equal to max HP. these are that's all we need. Now let's create the behavior for the units, for which unit will have different behavior. Okay, and let's see, we need a couple of things. We need the components, so we want let's see, we want the rigid body, the sprite renderer, and the animator. So rigid body 2D, sprite renderer, and animator. So we'll place the components in the variables first at the beginning in the start function. So start meaning the beginning of the when the object is created. This happens first before anything. The animator, and we'll also have a bool called is enemy, because depending on this we have different behaviors, and to know if this is enemy we check the tag. So if game object, so this object tag, sorry, not like this, if compare tag game object tag, and we compare it with, sorry, I forgot how to use this. Checks the game object that okay, so just also here we need to say game object dot compare tag. I don't know, I don't remember how to use this. 1 second. Let's see. Unity compare tag. So it just seems that you just need the object. So like this, and inside here the tag should be enemy, but let's make sure this is correct. Yes. So if that the tag of the object is enemy, then we set enemy to true, but as default before that we say it is false by default. So now we know if the unit is ours or is the enemy. And by default the unit should be walking, but let's create some bools. Is walking is attacking. and let's have a move speed, public float move speed. So at the start we want the unit to walk. Let's see that animator 1 second. So by default is idle, so we need to make this moving. So first of all, so is walking is true by default, then is attacking is false by default. Okay, and after that we can set the animator set bool is walking to is walking for a variable which is true, and then the velocity ct is equal to that move speed, but never mind, here we need to check if it's enemy first. So if it is not enemy, so if it's ours, then the velocity, we need two things to do here. One is velocity equal to move speed times vector to right, and as you can see, this is the caveman is correctly oriented towards the right side. So we just need, in the other case, so if it is enemy, we need to flip the sprite. So sprite and flip x equal true, and then the velocity move speed times vector to left. So let's comment this, get components, then check if it is enemy, default rules, play walk animation, set the velocity depending if it is enemy or not. Add some spaces between these, they look nice. Okay, so it will walk until it reaches an enemy. So now we need to think. Usually you can recast to the every frame here in the update, but let's see if that is efficient first. So we recast to the how many sorry. I don't know how many you can have at the same time, but being 2D, I'm assuming you can have a lot. Okay, we'll try to use the update, and if we have lag, which I don't believe we will have, but here if he's not attacking, so if he's attacking is false, or it is easier just to add the exclamation mark. So this exclamation mark means not. we want to raycast. Let's see that I have the code in a text file here somewhere. So here raycast 2D. Okay, length, copy this here like this. The length, and obviously we want to draw the ray, we want to see it. Okay, so from not transform position, okay, maybe a little bit higher. So here so this is the starting position of the ray, then the direction, and here is the length. And we want to add, since the pivot, this transform position, the pivot is on the bottom, we want to add a little bit more to it to make sure that it collides. So here plus vector 3 up times something very small like this, just to make sure it collides. Okay, and here if we collide with something, you want to check. So first of all, if we want to know if this unit is ours or the if it is enemy. So is enemy. So if it's not enemy first, then we want to say that that bool is true. So we're not entering again in this if, first of all, and then we need the behavior. So we need a coroutine for the attacking phase. Make it public. So this IE enumerator means coroutine. Call this attacking coroutine. Okay, and we want an attack speed. Float attack speed, and we also want the damage, which will be an int. So damage. Okay, and here while is attacking, we want to wait. First we attack. So here when we raycast and we hit something, we want to save that in a variable. So here we'll make a variable public, and must be a unit, target unit. By default this obviously is null, and here when we collide with something, regardless if it is we need to do something first. When we raycast and we are the player, we only want to raycast on the enemies, and when enemies raycast, they need to only raycast on the player. So let's create a layer mask, let's create two layer masks. So public layer mask, we call this player layer mask, and another one. So this means we will only target certain layers. Layer mask. And now to do that we need to have the layers first. So here on our unit, and also on the basis we'll have to do this. Here we want to add two layers. One is player and one is enemy. Okay, so we'll select this when we spawn, but here when we raycast, we want to raycast depending on if the unit is player or enemy. So we check that. So if it is not enemy, then we want to do this, but first let's create this raycast before the if. Okay, like this, and then here we remove the name. So if you are the player, we want to raycast towards right, this is correct, and if not, so else. Copy paste this and we change the direction, so instead of right to the left. And at the end here we want to add that layer mask, so meaning which layers we want to raycast to. But I do not see those here. We have an error here because the coroutine, you need to wait at least one frame, otherwise it gives you an error. So this here yield returnal means wait one frame. Now we should see the layer masks. And here, so if we are player, then we want the enemy, and if you are enemy, we want to raycast only on the player. So here, if we are the player, at the end we add that player layer mask, and here the enemy layer mask. Wait, I wrote this incorrectly here, not player, layer. Okay, now it should reset because I changed the name. Okay, so we select the player. The damage we'll have to test this, and the HP as well. And here okay, so we raycast, we check if we hit something, and then if it's enemy, but with attacking coroutine. So while it is attacking, we want every attack speed seconds to attack the target unit. But first, here if we collide with something, we place this in the target unit. So target unit is equal hit collider, and we want a unit component like this, and here we attack it, so target unit. but we want to know how long the animation is. Okay, the attacking animation. So let's click on run unit. No, to the animator. Here, double click. We don't want this to loop. And let's see, it's this value here, length 1063. Okay, let's place that in a variable. Float attack animation duration equal to, not here in the start or in the inspector, 1063. So here let's save this 1063, and here first I was thinking maybe start the animation, and at the end of the animation we subtract the damage from the HP, but there is another way. We can place an event on the animation exactly when it hits the enemy. But let's think how to do this. So let's try to do this. So obviously the function must be public. We'll call this void deal damage. And here we want that if the target unit is different than null, so if it exists, then we just want the HP minus equal to the damage, and we want this to happen exactly when it hits the enemy. So we need to go to animation, select our unit, and here in the attack animation, let's go to our scene. Okay, and we want to see first of all how this looks like. Something. So here we want to add an event like this sign here, add event, and on the event you see that it says no function, because unfortunately the animator is not on the same object with the script. So unfortunately I don't know if we can place an event here. Yes, we cannot do it like this. Okay, that's not a big issue. We'll just have to do it another way. Are you still here? I see that we have two viewers. Okay. Okay, so instead we'll have to use that attack animation duration, and at the end we deal the damage. So first we play the animation, so animate play, no, not play, sorry, set bool, or actually we can play the animation directly. So let's remove those transitions from the other animations to the attack. And here let's just play the animation, play, and then the name of the animation is the name of the unit, so game object name, and then you add the rest of it. So here underline attack, so we play it, then we wait the length of the animation, so we'll return wait new, wait 4 seconds, and then exactly the duration of the animation, so attack animation duration. So let's comment this while attacking, play attack animation, wait duration of the attack, and then we deal the damage, so target unit HP minus equal the damage. Okay, let's see if we need something else. Okay, now we need to wait between the attacks a certain amount of time, which that time is here, the attack speed, and wait until next attack. So yield turn new seconds attack speed. Okay. And now we need to make sure that recast is the correct length. So let's see, when we play the scene we should see the recast in green, or seems to be red, but first we have an error here because this animation this bool does not exist, it seems. Let's make sure. Yes, I see. The problem is, you see, the animator is on a child component, and the sprite renderer as well. So instead, here we need to go on this child, not the main object. So here, when we get the components, instead for the sprite renderer and animator, we have to select the first child. So transform get child 0, so the first child, and then we get the component. Now we need to select the correct length for the recast. Okay, this is very long. Let's try 1 length. Okay, this seems to be okay. You can see now that is okay. Oh, and now we also need an object where we can place our game manager. We'll create an empty object, place it at the top. um, and you see here this layer, like I said before, the background has layers and those move at different speed to create the illusion of depth. And this layer 4 initially moved as well, but I removed it so because it is the ground where the units walk and the base is, and if it moves it looks very weird. Okay, let's create our game manager. New script, manager. And here we want the spawn the spawn unit function, but before that we need two things. We need a need for the technology level. Let's just call this level. Also we need an int for our resources, which is gold, and we also need an int called XP, and then we want an array with XP limits, so we know when we change the level of technology. Okay, and now we need an array for all of the units. So public game object array, and then yes, we call units game object units array values. And here we want a public function that we can attach to our buttons to spawn units. So public spawn unit, and we need an int index and then the price, and also here a void. So first this will only happen if we can afford the unit. And also I forgot one thing here in our unit script. The units don't spawn instantly, they take time to build. So public float build duration. Okay. So first of all we want to check if we can afford it. So if gold minus price is bigger or equal to 0, so in other words, if we can afford it, the unit, then we want to spawn it, but in time. We want to wait that build duration, and we cannot do it in a void function with the coroutine. Okay. Let's create a list, because you see here in the game you can queue units, and you see here there are 5 spots where we can queue units. Okay, so first of all, first thing we need is the user interface. Now we need a panel for the resources. Call this resources panel. We don't want this to stretch. Want to resize it. Make it black first of all. Now we resize this. something very small because we only need the XP and the gold. Okay, now we need an image for this, so let's go to each assets, search for coin. Ideally we have an animation. I like this one. Okay, download. The resolution, I prefer the biggest possible. Let's save it in downloads. See how this looks first. Looks nice. Okay, expand the folder, drag this in our sprites folder in resources. Okay, now we need to split this image, but we have an error here for some reason. Okay. First of all, let's select filter mode point because it is pixel art. Now we need in sprite mode multiple sprite editor, and it seems that this is 20 times 20. Yes, it is. Now we sliced it. Let's create the icon first. So here on our init panel, let's copy the color from our units panel, so it is exactly the same. Sorry, the alpha, not the color. The color is obviously black, but be the exact transparency. Okay, we copy and paste it. In here we need so before that, let's make sure that this is in the corner. So here these are the anchors. I like to place them in the corners because not only will it be at the correct position, but it will also stretch with the screen size. Let's do the same for this one. It's very hard to select. Okay. Okay, let's go to our resource panel. Here we need one image, so UI image. I don't know honestly what's the difference between image and raw image, but we'll use image. And inside here, let's create an animator. Let's go to our animation folder, create an animator controller, call this coin animation. Place it on the image in the animator component. Now we want this to have a starting image, so the first sprite in the animation. We want to resize this a little bit. Okay. Now we need to create animation. So window animation. For some reason it does not let me. Okay, coin animation. Now we just drag and drop all the sprites. You see we have the animation, but it's very fast. Still too fast. Something like this. Maybe let's see how this looks full screen. Seems okay. Okay. Call this coin animation, and next to it we want the text. So text mesh pro. and the XP will be red, the text for the gold will be yellow. So let's call this gold text. Want this to be centered. Please change the font something better. Color to yellow. Now reposition. Lower the font a little bit. And let's make sure it is in the center. I believe you can change the Y so it is exactly at the same position like this. Here we'll place the some initial value. An initial value. We need to place the anchors on this as well, so that it will be positioned, and remember the anchors are relative to the parent. So see the main the resource panel, the main panel does not have a parent, so it is relative to the canvas, but the UI inside it are the anchors are relative to the parent. Let's place the anchors for the coin as well. Okay. Let's see. XP we just used text. Let's make this purple. Okay. And this does not need to be this big, exactly the size of the text, because it will not change, it's static. Let's see how this looks. For some reason I see the text symbol and I don't know why, but we call this XP text1. Make a copy, and this wait, this one needs to be white and this one needs to be purple. So this is the actual value. We need to stretch this a little bit, and obviously we start with 0. Okay, now I would like this to be near the gold text, something like this. Now we need to place anchors for both these texts. By default, you see that, like I said, these anchors are relative to the parent. You see that by default it is placed in the center of the parent. Just place the anchors in each corner. Let's see. Okay. And now we need that function in our game manager, spawn unit. And like I said, units take time to build, so and also you can queue units. So let's create the UI for that first. Let's see how they make it. I see. Okay. Here in the canvas we need to create the UI. Let's close everything. Call this build panel. We want here to remove the image, and now we need to resize this. It covers the whole screen at the moment, so this will be the size of this panel, something like this. And inside this we want a slider that will show the progress of the build. Okay, to resize this a little bit like this, and let's see the fill area, but first let's go to the slider and see. Yes, we want the fill to be a certain color. Let's make this red, like the game. So here at the fill area, fill, we need to change this color here in the image to red, something like this. So now you see that when the slider moves, it's red. We want this handle, first of all, see this value here, interactable. This will not be interactable, and you also don't need this handle. And this fill area is not correct, I believe. Okay, I don't know why this is visible, but okay. And now we need to obviously add the anchors, not only to the slider but to the whole panel, because at the moment you see it in the center. And now we need the UI, the squares, which will show how many units are queued. Okay, and for that we'll make another layout group. So first we'll create an empty object. We call this build queue. UI. Need to resize this a little bit. Okay. Now one second, let me make sure that the OBS is working. Yes, it is. And inside we want to to add the horizontal layout group, so that we can have these squares at equal distance without calculations. And inside here we want the UI, which will be an image like this, a square image, and by default it will be gray. Sorry, yes, gray, but a little bit transparent. Let's resize this even more. Okay, now here in our build queue UI, we want on the horizontal layout group, we want spacing, not spacing, padding. We want this to be in the center of the slider, like this. Now we just this will also have a child, which is also a UI image, the same size, but this will not be active. This will be active when we are building something. So like this, maybe green. So q square inactive, and this one is active. Okay, and now we just simply control D, duplicate this like this, but we need to disable the active part. So we disable simply like this. Okay, and here below this slider we want some text that will show what unit we are building, and for that on each unit we want a public string name of unit. Okay, so we just need to add the text component not component but object. Like this, maybe another font. This is lower the font size and check if it looks good. It looks okay. 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 Let's place the first. Let's make this bigger. Resize it a little bit longer, like this. And now the anchors, of course. Okay, this one as well. Let's place the anchors. Okay, let's check that the slider as well is placed correctly. Okay, and now this text here. So this one, let's rename it to unit text, and this should have nothing while we are not building. Okay. Okay. And now we need to go to our game manager and let's create a couple objects. First of all, we need these squares here. So public game object build q squares, and it is an array. Then we need let's see, the XP text. Wait, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm in the wrong script. So here in the game manager, okay, the to text tmp, let's import that here using tmp pro. So tmp text public so the XP text and the gold text, build text. Okay, then we need the slider public, but for that we need to import Unity Engine UI. So public slider, build slider. Now we have the slider, and let's see. Okay, now we just need a list of the units that, so public list, and this list should be of units, build list. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So we need to spawn the unit, but not like this. So instead of this, let's say enumerator. Let's create a coroutine. So first we check if you can afford the unit, and if you do, want to spawn it. But first let's remove the price. So gold is equal minus equal price, and then we need first of all we want to know the duration of so here you see the build duration, and to do that let's create a variable float build duration is equal to so we go to our array of units array that index, then it's equal to, we get the unit component, and then the duration. So build duration, now we have the build duration and let's check that lerp function. Where is it? So lerp beginning position and position. Yes, we need to use this. Yes. So first of all, let's create the limits of the slider. So you see, if we go to the, one second, I have a problem. If we go to our slider, which we'll rename to build slider, you see here that it has a minimum value and a maximum value. So we need to change the maximum value to the duration of the build. So here build slider max value equal to build duration first of all. Then we want to use that lerp function. Okay, so we want this the current values here. So build slider value, by default it is 0, and then we want not vector 3 lerp but matf lerp, and the beginning position is 0, and then position is builder slider max value, and now the time here will be the duration. So build duration, and here I wrote that incorrectly. Okay, so it will go from 0 to the maximum value, in this build duration amount of time. So here let's comment this, go from 0 to next value in build duration amount of seconds. Okay, let's see, find the build duration here, and then we can spawn the unit at the base, of course. So here let's have that base object, or rather let's call this public vector 3 spawn position. Okay, one thing that okay, I want to know where is that pivot on this. So let's see that. Okay, is not, this is not okay. Sprite short point pivot, yes, but the pivot is not correct, so we need to go to this let's make sure the pivot it is on bottom, but for some reason is not working. Let's make sure that all of these are on bottom. Yes, the walking is not on bottom. You see, this is not I don't know why. Guess for this one we'll have to yes, for this one we'll have to find calculate the this value here. Okay, so in this unit script we want two things. We want a bool as offset, and we want a float, the actual offset. So here in the stat function, if it is so if has offset, then we add to the position, so transform position equal new vector 3. We maintain the x, so transform x, transform position x, then transform position y plus the offset, and transform position z. So we added, but wait, we can just do it like this. It's easier. Plus equal to vector 3 up times that amount. Much better like this. Let's place parentheses just to be sure. Let's make sure that this is the correct value in the inspector. Yes, it is okay. Seems okay, but okay. Let's look at the behavior one more time. Make sure we give it a velocity at the start. Okay, so let's go back to our spawn unit function. After this is done, um, um, let's call it spawn units. Okay, and also let's create a public coroutine, spawn coroutine, because we don't want to spawn just one unit, we want to spawn all the units. And inside here, first of all, so here while build list, count is bigger than 0. So if we have a unit in the queue, then we want to spawn it. So while we can't spawn, we have a unit to spawn, we spawn. Okay. Okay, so we wait the time, then we need to spawn it. Spawn the unit. So instantiate. Now we need the position of the base. So spawn position will be the position of the base. But let's call this spawn position player. Now let's go to game manager. Sorry, the base, player base, and copy the position. And here in our game manager, paste this. And here in our unit, instead of offset, we call this position 1. And here we don't need this, we just need to get a new vector 3, maintain the position on X. On Y we put the position Y, and then start from position Z. Okay, so it needs to be at an exact position. Okay, let's see what's the problem here. Okay, so we instantiate this, so the unit at the index at spawn units, let's call this spawn units player, and the position is this spawn position player. The rotation is 0, no dimensions. Okay, and now that we spawn the unit, we want to, so first of all, before we wait that build duration, we want to set the text. We need the text, so build text here, public tmp text, build text, and we want to set that to, so set build text, so this to, let's see how they made it. So training, okay, training, so just training. Then we want the name of the unit, so this name, wait, not like this, we want okay, so since we are since we are using, we need the unity, the unit script 2 times. Let's just get it once here. So unit script equal, so we got it now, and so we don't get it twice. Okay, this is okay, and then here the unit script, and then the name of unit. Okay, let's see, and then just 3 dots like this. And here at the end, after the unit is found, we need to do 2 things. One is the slider value. So build slider value is 0, and then the text, the build text will be null. So it's equal to string dot empty like this. Let's see, it will okay, and at the end we want to so let's see, we have the here we have the list of we have a list, but we don't need it to be units, just an int, which will be the index. So here while this is bigger, we no longer need this index, and I don't think we need this index anymore. Okay, and also the price, I don't need this either. Okay, so the index will be index, so an index will be equal to the first int in this build list. So build list is 0, sorry, the first element, so this. Okay, and then the price, we need the price, and for that we let's see, yes, here in our unit we need to have the price, public int price. So now that we know the index, we'll get this unit script here. Okay, and in here we want the price from that script like this. Okay, and at the end we want to remove that first int from the list. So here just build list, remove 0, I believe this works. No, not 0. Let's see how to remove this. C# remove first list. Let's see, this removes a specific one. Remove that one if you know the index. Okay, so it seems to be remove at index, or remove that like this. Okay, and then obviously if we have just we have, let's say we have just one unit in the queue, it will go here while build list count is bigger than 0, because it is 1, and at the end when we remove it, it will be 0, and it will leave the coroutine. Now let's make sure we have everywhere we need this yield return null. See here a while. If you have a while and you do not have yield return null, it will enter an infinite loop. So it will null at the end always if you have a loop. Okay, but we also want to update this UI, the squares, which will represent how many units are in the queue. So here these squares here, which also I want to change the color of them a little bit, so like this. And we want to okay, so let's see. Let's say yes. Yes, okay, so let's call this void update q UI. So not q but build q, so you know exactly what we're talking about. Before that, let's go here in our inspector and drag everything into the manager. So we need a couple of things. The XP text, which is in the resource panel, and I believe is this one. Yes, so this one here, the gold text. Okay, the XP limits, this we will add later. The units we will add later. The build q squares. Okay, have them. Like this. Now we need a slider, the build duration slider. We drag him here. Now the build text, unit text we called it. Okay, spawn position player. Yes, we need the position of the player base. So let's copy this from here, paste here. Okay, we have everything we need, I believe. Okay, let's see. We want to update the queue, and to do that we need to know how many units are in the queue. So int number of units in queue equal build, or wait, we don't need this, we can just okay, for int equals 0, sorry, int I equals 0 smaller than build list count plus plus. So for each unit in the queue. Okay, so we have the squares here in this array, build q squares. So okay, build q squares that we want the first child, so transform get child 0. Oh, we forgot to say here the index, and we just want to activate it, so set active, wait, transform set active. Wait, why doesn't this work? Set active? No, not like this. Okay, it does not work for some reason. Enabled? Maybe? No. Okay, let's see. Unity set active. Okay, I need the whole game object, not the transform. So game object set active true. Okay, and for the others, so from the count, to the maximum, which is 4. So for int sorry, not this was another one. So from build list count to the maximum, which is 4 plus plus u plus plus. Okay. So meaning so let me explain this. If the count is 3, okay, we activate the first 3, and then from that to the end we deactivate. Okay, but I have a problem here. Yes, here J here. Okay, like this. And inside we set these to false. Okay, but and we don't even need these curly brackets, which you can, if you have only just one line of code, you don't need this. Okay, now we need a function to add a unit to the queue. So public add unit to queue, which, and also this is void. And now this will happen when you click a button in the here in the units panel. And to do that, we need to know two things: the index and the price. The price, it is in the unit, so we just need the index here, index, and we need the price. So first of all, price is equal to units array, the index, and then the component, and then the price, like this. Now we know the price, and we now need to check. Wait, you see this here, where we check if we can afford it. We don't need this here. We need it in here. So if we can afford the unit, let's remove this. Okay, so if we can afford it, we remove that price from our gold, and then we add it to the queue. So that list build list add, and then we need to add a, let's see how to add first. List add. Let's see. Oh, hello Steve. So let's see, is there any way you can remove? Yes, you can remove from either side. You can remove from either side, but I like to remove them in the order that they were added to the queue. So first one is built first. Okay, let's see how to add correctly. Okay, this is very complicated. Let's see something different. Okay, I see. I'm not sure where this is added if I say this. If I say yes, that is true, but that happens automatically. I don't have to write any code. It is correct. If I remove from 0, the elements will move towards the beginning. Yes, that is true. Let's see, add an address append to the end. Yes, that is what I want to add to the end. Thank you. So here we'll add what do we add here? Yes, just the index like this. But let's call this not index. Unit index to understand better. Okay. And now that we added it, we need to check. Sorry, we need to check if this coroutine is running. And also, when we start this coroutine, we want to add it to a coroutine variable, so we know if it is running or not. So here at the beginning, we say, wait, not again, sorry. So here in our when we add to the queue, we check if this the spawn coroutine is active. So if this is if this is null, then we start it. So start, but not like this. We want to use that spawn coroutine variable, so we save it in the variable, and then spawn units player in this case. Okay. And now what? Yes, we need a couple of things. First, let's update that UI, and let's see when we want to update this. Yes, so one time we need to update this is here when we add a unit to the queue. So one time we update here, and we also want to update this when we remove when we spawned, after we spawned a unit. So here when we remove it from the list, we update also. Okay, now we need to connect this function here, add unit to queue to the button, and check if it works, but we have an error first. Let's see, what is this? Yes, you see here is not I, it's J. You can insert to insert data index. Yes, that was the only problem. This yes, it was the incorrect letter. Okay, so let's go to our let's see, not resource panel, where is it? Unit 1 panel. So this will be for the first level of technology. Okay, let's first of all on our unit here. Let's check. I don't know how to determine the damage. That will be interesting to discover. I have no idea what the damage of this is, but that doesn't matter. Let's count the strikes for let's see. I don't know. Let's make some random values and we'll modify this later. Okay, so HP, max HP, let's say it's 10, damage is 2. Attack speed, let's say 1 second between attacks, move speed, okay. Targeting, okay. Price 15. Position on the Y axis. Yes, we need to go to our unit that for some reason is not visible. Okay. Let's switch this 0. No. This moved for some reason needs to be 0. Yes, like this. And this Y value here in this will be the only unit we have to do this to, because the sprite renderer is a child of the main object. Okay, now we need to save this so we can add it to our game manager. We'll drag it in our prefabs, delete it from our scene, go to game manager, add it to unit array like this, and now let's go to the build panel. Not this one. Sorry, the unit 1 panel here. Not unit 1, let's call it tech 1 panel. And we have a button somewhere, this one. Here on click we add the game manager. The function is add to units to queue and 0, so index 0. And let's check if this works the moment of truth. And obviously we'll have to get XP when we kill a unit and the gold. So let's see. First of all, we can move the camera with A and D, and let's see. Yes, this seems to work, but okay, so we have some bugs. One is that the unit does not spawn at the correct position. So let's see why that happens. Let's see. Which is like what if you zone. Okay. I don't know why this does not spawn at the correct position. Okay, let's see what we wrote here. So if it has offset, okay, I see. Yes, we forgot to here to check that bool. It does have offset. Yes, we need to check this. Okay. Excuse me 1 moment. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, let's see if this works, but I don't understand why these text boxes are here. Okay, let's see. See, now it spawns at the correct position, but okay, so one thing that we need is here when we add to queue, we must make sure that the queue is not full. So if your build list count is smaller or equal to 5, sorry, not 4, because it is, if it is okay, smaller than 5, we put everything inside this if. So we only add if we can. Okay, now Another problem that I see is that we spawn one unit and then it doesn't work anymore. Let's see why that happens. Okay, and also one problem is that it's spawned instantly, and I'm not sure why. Let's see what we did here. So the max let's make sure first of all that we placed the build duration in our unit, and also yes that let's see from 0 to count -1, that is okay. But here is not okay because this needs to be build this count -1, since arrays start from 0. Yes, it was indeed a problem. Thank you, Steve, for mentioning that. Okay, let's see. Okay, we now have another error. Let's see where. So here we still have that. Okay, let's see. It's an index out of range. Let's make sure first of all that we added all the squares we did. Okay, so from 0 to build list -1, this is correct. And here we start from build count smaller than 4 plus plus. I'm not sure what is the problem here. Maybe Steve can see what the problem is. I'm not sure. Let's see. So let's say that the count is 2. It goes from 0 to 1. Okay, so the first 2, and then we start from, okay, yes, I think okay, so here we start from 1, but we already, yes, so here is without -1, but let's try without -1. So the first one is also, why is it built instantly? Yes, that is very weird. And now we don't even have an error. So let's see. Okay, first get the index from, and let's call this unit index. Unit index. Replace it. Okay. So let's see. If there are items in the list, we get the index of the unit, then we get the script from that unit, we find the build duration, we set the slider maximum value to that build duration. This is the text that something is building, and here we go from 0 to 1 in basically that means we wait a build duration amount of seconds, and that value goes from 0 to the maximum value in obviously this is So basically it goes from 0 to the maximum in that amount of seconds. Okay. Okay, then we spawn it that at the spawn position. Reset the slider value to 0. And let's I think in here in the slider we forgot to set something. Let's see the build panel here, the slider. Oh, I see on value changed. No, that's not what we did. Okay, let's look at this slider while we play the scene, make sure everything is correct here. So now we build a unit. Yes, you see, we made a mistake here somewhere. So this for some reason is 0. So this unit, the duration, where is it? Yes, that is the problem. My bad. We need to set this to something. Let's say 2 seconds. My bad. Now it should take some time to build. Yes, you see. But now it doesn't work anymore. And also the name of unit here, you need to say call this caveman, or let's see how they called it, clubman. Okay, let's call this clubman. Okay. Okay, let's see. So something here in the coroutine is not correct. And I'm not sure what. Something is not working. Now at least the slider works. Let's go to the slider and try to build something. Okay, but now it does not work anymore. And let's check, see why does this not work. I'm not sure. So the value is 0, the text is empty. We remove. Okay, let's look now at the build list, which I am not sure why it is by default. Okay, I see. So one problem, first of all. Oh wait. Okay, let's look at that build list. See if there is a problem. I see. Okay. So I don't understand exactly. Let me experiment a bit. I'm not sure why it stops. Okay, so if I make a list like this, Yes, a couple of things are not correct here. Let's see. So here, not 5, it is 4, because yes, it is 4 here, not 5. First of all, that is one bug. Okay, let's see. um, no, it was 5 here. Okay, but I'm not sure why the UI is not updating correctly. What is has offset again? If we want to spawn the unit at a different position than the base, we need that. So a couple things are not working well. First of all, when we select this, something is not correct here. Yes, here is 0 to 5, and then for some reason this coroutine does not work. So if we spawn something and then this finishes, it does not work for some reason. Let's try again. I wish there was a way to voice chat, but there is a delay on Twitch. In the future, you see after it spawns, it does not work anymore. Let's see why. Okay, let's use the debug mode to see everything. The coroutine should be here somewhere. Okay, so here we check if the coroutine is null, and if it is, then we start it. I want to see that coroutine. It is public, but I do not see it. I don't see it here. Okay, we can use a bool to see. Let's make sure this ends. So while it is bigger than 0, not sure why this is not working, but my guess is that its coroutine here is not null for some reason, because if we spawn at the beginning, let's see if it works. Okay, so as long as you keep clicking, it works. But now you see it stops working after that. So let's change the logic a little bit. Instead of um, a coroutine, will use a bool, and by default it's false. Let's remove the update. Okay, and here at the beginning of the coroutine we say that this is true, and at the end we say that it is false. So spawn coroutine is false, and here if spawn coroutine it's false, then we just start the coroutine. Okay, and now we can see that bool is much better. Let's see, you see we have the spawn coroutine bool. So let's see, let's just spawn one and try again. See, now it works. Okay, so now it is functional finally. Okay, but the price thing is not working. We'll have to. Okay, so I think we'll stop for today. I think we made quite a lot of progress, and we'll continue this tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Let's see. You're confused with the second loop. Okay, no problem. I'll explain it. And then we can stop. 1 second. Okay. So you're talking about this, the update build queue. It's not that. Okay. Okay. Let me explain this in Paint. Okay. So first of all, we have only 5 spots, 5 squares. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let's say that the count is 2. Okay. So here we have the positions 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go from so the first one is from 0 to the count -1, so from 0 to 1. So we activate these two. So we activate this and activate this. Then we go from the count. We start from the count, which you see is 2. So from here, okay, and to the end, which is 4. Okay, and we deactivate this. Okay, is this clear? So this is for the UI, the square that represent how many. Okay, so okay, thank you very much for coming, and we will continue this tomorrow at the same hour. Thank you very much.